All right, it's harvest time. My wife and I were invited to a fairly unusual dinner party tonight. And it is a party specifically for my gardening friends. And the theme of the dinner is, we're calling it a harvest dinner. And the theme is basically everybody brings whatever they want, a few dishes or one dish, whatever you want. But the idea is not to buy anything from the store. Everything at this dinner, or as much as we can get away with anyway, is going to be harvested, gathered, or hunted. There's a few people that went out and caught some fish, and one person said they're going to bring a couple of ducks. So I have this assortment of food here that I've laid out on the table because now I have to think about what are we going to do with all this. I didn't add the lettuce. I've got a lot of lettuce still outside growing in the garden here. We have a number of potted plants all the way along here. There's a whole bunch of lettuce back over there, so I'm going to harvest that. And I've got quite a bit of kale here, which I'm going to turn into some sort of a green dish. These are all herbs and spices that I've picked. And we did get a lot of eggs. I saved up about 25 eggs. Half of them are over there being hard-boiled right now. My wife is going to do some sort of an egg dish. So it'll be interesting to see how this comes out. So Trent, what do you think of the idea of everything being just from the garden and nothing from the store?
That just makes it taste much better.
That's true, everything's going to be fresh. Do you like the idea? Does it sound like a good competition?
Yep.
All right. Okay, we've got a little list here that we've got to make out for this harvest dinner. There's 4 categories. We've got bartered, wild caught or foraged, homegrown, and a special category for home brewed or fermented. Well, we're here. Look at these steps here. Such a beautiful home. Interesting to see what kind of food we have. Harvest dinner. And the table is all set. Looks like we have about 22 people. Tables are being set.
I actually got these off Longreach. Yeah, it's Longreach where it meets. And that's what it is.
Then the young ones. They're more oiled or something than the old ones.
Right. Yeah.
You want to make it douglas for a tea out.
Harvest dinner. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
So appetizers here.
Hey, Bruce.
Appetizers here. Okay. And
The wine goes out here.
okay.
Liquid is outside.
I'll do that after.
Are these your elderberries?
They're wild from Moscatos Creek.
So this is foraged.
This is pure forage, yes.
We have a big elderberry tree in our backyard. Make elderberry syrup. Because it's salty.
So these ones are big.
Your Columbus cake just gave me a load of yeast.
Seriously, it's just because it's been made.
Oh, here's some bread. Oh my God.
Fresh made bread. One of them is gluten-free.
Wow.
Wow.
Trout here.
Better have a good appetite.
You know, we have a little bit of smoked trout here left. If you want to take some home since you gave us this trout.
Possibly.
If they're firmer in this, yeah, if they're really juicy, it's still coming on. When I had one with they just they're very productive.
One of this is some marzipan. Steve,
Acorn.
Hi, Gretchen.
Wow. Never had acorn yet.
They're dry and hard
Take that one
inside.
out.
Yeah. So you soak them overnight. and put them in a blender the next morning and chop them up in the blender. And
What have you got here? Ooh.
3 different kinds.
You know, it really is
And we
gourmet.
went onions,
And the flavors are all so unusual, things I've never tasted before.
and it wasn't as good as this.
This acorn dip right here, yeah, it's really tasty. I mean, it's as good as any hummus I've ever had, with a little different flavor.
Give me every vegetable. Yeah. We'll just throw it all in there.
So what's your favorite, Helen? Got any favorites so far?
Yeah.
Homemade crackers, and is that mozzarella cheese?
No, that's
You made the cheese, huh?
paneer.
Paneer.
Yeah, it's a version of it. It's goat's milk and cow's milk.
Where did you get the milk? You had to buy it. Oh.
Try this too.
You'd be very safe. Yeah, but look at all the leaves.
Vine wine. Made wine out of the leaves. I've never heard that.
That's what you do when the grapes don't grow.
An oak chipped IPA.
So how many different beers do you have here?
We have 4 different beers, 2 of mine, one's Craig's, which is a very nice, very dark IPA, and one's Bill's first ever batch, which is pretty amazing. So that's kind of like, and it tastes gorgeous. So
Wow.
it's all good.
And we've got some homemade wine over there.
Really?
Yeah. There's 2 bottles of wine over there. They're a cab from 1980. I know. They're either going to be really good
Or really cool.
or really
1980.
1980. Look at them.
Neil, never been to Yellowstone?
That's crazy. 1980 cab.
I wonder what it tastes like. My son has.
I don't know.
If it's good.
I'm really anxious to find out.
Yeah.
Is there some home brewed wines here?
Oh, was that right?
That's remarkable.
We just purchased them. So we didn't make them. Or barter for them.
IPA.
Seems like it has a little bit of a fruity flavor.
I had one, I forget where it came from, local, San Mateo, but it was at a restaurant, and they had put habanero in when they brewed it.
Real fire.
And so it wasn't overpowering or aggressive, it was after you were all done and went to take a bite of your taco, there was a little heat there. Yeah.
Let's see, that's a 32-year-old wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
1980. Zoom in.
I gotta taste that. That's
Now,
crazy.
where do you grow the grapes? Are they here or somewhere?
Collins Vineyard, St. Helena. And the Meritage is Boonville. This is a 94-95 Meritage. A list of certain grapes, and I can't tell you off the top of my head.
So it's not just a black. It's a specific
One
blend.
is a Cab Franc, Cab Sauv, and Dion.
I think there's 5. Toya, right? Send it to her.
Wow. Look at how yellow those yolks are, too. That's amazing.
I just turned it off and figured it'd keep cooking. Did you see them? A couple of us are going to be working and clearing off a bunch of the appetizers so that we can bring the main course salads and soups out to this table. So if you have a dish or something that's almost empty, or if you have, first of all, if you have more appetizers you want to eat kind of quickly, because
And then go out there.
yeah, and go out there, and then we'll do this transition of getting main soups and salads.
Oh, and this stuff is the breadcrumbs.
You are an amazing cook and really pretty.
Thank you.
Look at
Are you
this.
sure that it'll be the wrong one?
He knows how to get my attention.
Homemade bread.
Yes.
Now for the main course dishes. My goodness. Look at that. I cannot believe all this food.
Blair, I'm going to move your bread right here, if I can, please.
That's Gina's bread. I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm sorry.
Who's ever? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, why don't you start here, go around here, around like that?
No, not.
Okay, ding dong. Time ready.
I think we should just Jill. We're not running out of food.
Thank you, everybody. Much gratitude. We have lots to be thankful for. We really do, yeah. And we'll just start here and follow around that way. And then we'll come out here and head up. Good point, Joanne.
We're doing a pesto with our
Craig and Margaret.
own basil. So pesto, this is amazing. Pesto, we just did it, and we put a lot of pesto in it. Man, we just look at this.
Wow.
A lot.
Never put pesto on beans before.
Oh, it's amazing. Well, mainly it's the beans are good, but the pesto is just amazing.
Oh, mine.
Ate all my strawberries. Ate.
You wait Sorry. It's amazing how
I'm overwhelmed at the variety of stuff I've ever had. It's fantastic.
Julie, it tastes great. All your shopping paid off. It tastes great. All your shopping paid off. It tastes.
The fish is good.
Everything is good.
It's all good.
But the food turned out better than I could have imagined.
Yes.
Both of you guys. Thank you so
Cheers. Cheers.
Okay. All right, Bill, what is the secret to growing good basil?
Well, if you overwater it, it seems like it gets a disease and it wilts real bad. So you can't water it too much, but you need to water it enough. And then you have to have a good growing location. And we mulch.
Full sun?
we put full sun, yes, full sun, and we put peat moss as a mulch on top. So it's on top, so it doesn't evaporate too much.
Good.
And other than that, maybe it's luck.
Oh. See, I just throw out seeds and they just come up. I never have any problem with basil.
It's like doing the pelvic tilt. It's weird all the time. but in yoga they don't.
Like I never do that.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. We couldn't imagine everything what was brought and the variety. And so we have awards. So let's see. The first one is for Barter.
How about you tell about some of the rules?
Oh yeah. Okay. Now the rules. So you have four categories: bartered, wild caught, wild caught or foraged, homegrown, or home brewed or fermented. So bartered means you've got somebody who traded something, not exactly right at the same time, but you traded somebody something to get an ingredient that you used in dinner. And that'll be the first one we'll award. Then wild caught or foraged, of course I think that's self-explanatory. Oh yeah, and there's another category for stories. I'm sorry, barter we aren't giving an award for. I'm sorry. But stories. The best story about how you got your ingredients.
Things that the gophers and the deer didn't eat. They didn't eat the cucumbers, and they didn't eat the squash. And I had a few nasturtium flowers and a couple peppers, and I made pickles out of them, half-sour pickles.
And then a friend told me they saw some chanterelles along a certain road in Los Gatos.
A certain road.
A certain road, yeah. So
what road is that?
Yeah, secret road, right. So I went down there and looked around, and there was a few chanterelles here and there, and I got them. And then I met my friend, and she had looked around too, and found this one area that was kind of down this little lane that went to a bunch of houses. So it was probably private property, but
yes, it was private property.
But anyway, so there was just like all these huge chanterelles that they were just all over the place, giant. And so I got a couple of grocery bags and filled them up, and then I came back a few days later, and a whole bunch more had come up, so I filled up some more grocery bags. So I did this 2 or 3 times, and I ended up getting 60 pounds of chanterelles.
Oh. Without even thinking, drops his line in, and within 45 seconds, he goes, "Oh, there's something wrong." And pulls up, and all of a sudden, he's got a 8-9 pound lingcod on his hook.
That was the first fish?
Yes. Of the boat.
First fish on
Of the boat. I mean, Captain Bob said, "Drop your line." Bill must have like, bang. And that lingcod was going, "Oh, cool, my turn, bang." I mean, it was just like, couldn't believe it. So, and it was a large fish. That set the tone for the day.
And so Chris's friend gave her a big bag of Valley Oak acorns, and Chris shared those with me. And so Larry and I sat around cracking acorns open while we were watching TV until we had enough.
I was growing zucchini this summer, and it was getting away from me. So
Not zucchini.
I couldn't keep up eating it fast enough. So I've had this recipe for a long time, and I've used it before. It calls for 2 pounds of zucchini, which helps get rid of some of it.
The appetizer that I made is it uses grape leaves, and the stuffing inside is yogurt. grape leaves came from Steve's garden, which I picked this morning, and I was a little concerned that I was picking grape leaves so late in the season, but they turned out to be really easy to use, and I simply poured boiling water over them, and that was enough to just soften them up to use.
Last night about 12 midnight, you know how it is.
I was asleep.
He was trying to sleep, and he says, "Oh, come on to bed." I said, "Oh God, no, I have to make those truffles tonight because we have all these other things we have to make tomorrow, you know." Yeah, and besides, I can't sleep. I'm too wired, you know. So he says, "I'm going to bed." So he went to bed. So I was there, and you have to crack the bayonets because Julie had taken the hull off. They're related to avocados, and they have a green outer covering when they first fall. It's not that thick, maybe about a 1/4 inch thick. And the chipmunks and the squirrels and all the animals love to eat that. And I guess if you get that right when it falls, before it kind of putrefies, that is edible.
So I thought, why not try it with the buena herb? And we kind of experimented with it. Yeah, that was the other thing. I tried pine needles. And they were okay. Yeah, they weren't brilliant. But yeah, we tried last Sunday, we tried different methods. And I tried kind of muddling, you know, like you would a mojito or something like that. And that didn't really work. So we ended up making a yerba mate tea, like you'd get in South America, the South American strain, and just combining it with vodka, and the cucumber went very well. Chris had some cucumber, and it gives it a kind of nice, refreshing uplift.